Cedric Willis sh0t D3ad after spending 12 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Cedric Willis spent nearly 12 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit since his exoneration. On June 24, Willis was shot and killed in his Jackson, Mississippi, neighborhood, 2 blocks from his home. The Jackson police CNN has attempted to reach the department multiple times but has not received a response. His mother, Elaine Willis, said police visited last week and told her the incident is still under investigation. Willis was failed by the country again and again, Ma says. America. In the summer of 1994, Willis was 19 and celebrating the birth of his son, CJ, when he was arrested and accused of the rape of a woman in one armed robbery and the murder of a man in another in Jackson. The 2 robberies, and 3 others committed in Jackson at the time, had similar patterns and evidence showed the same gun had been used. Victims gave similar. The suspect, victims said, had a gold tooth and no tattoos, IPNO said, but Willis had no gold teeth and his arms were inked. He was also, but victims from both robberies later identified Willis as the perpetrator. Testing determined his DNA did not match the sample found on the rape victim and prosecutors dropped those charges, but he was tried for the second robbery and murder. At trial, the jury did not hear about the DNA testing that excluded Willis from one robbery and the rape. Eyewitnesses. Willis was convicted of murder and armed robbery in 1997 and sentenced to life in prison plus 90 years, according to the LAEP. Willis was taken to the Mississippi State Penitentiary, where he was kept in solitary confinement for 4 years, according to which compiles information about exonerations. His time in prison, Ma says, was especially difficult because he suffered from epilepsy and often had blackouts and seizures. Willis' request for a new trial went ignored for years, the registry reports. IPNO heard about Willis' case in 2004 and in 2005, after the nonprofit law office's request, he was granted a new trial. Cedric. In 2006, a judge found previous witness testimony inadmissible, according to the Northwestern University, and the charges against Willis were dismissed. On March 6, 2006, he became a free man. Willis' mother never believed he committed the crimes and always hoped he'd be free again. While he was in prison, Habitat for Humanity built Elaine Willis a house and she insisted they add one more bedroom for her son. That bedroom is where Willis lived after he was freed and until he died. In the years since his exoneration, he built a strong relationship with his son and family, and even though his epilepsy often got in the way of keeping a job, Willis kept busy. He spoke with the NAACP, Ma said. He worked with the ACP. His mother says his wrongful conviction had deeply affected him, but he never. Willis was on his way home when he was killed, his mother said.
Raindrop, truck top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. I keep fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park.